everyone. I am here today. We've got Maurice Africh, our author of Cello's Gate, and we're here celebrating his recent announcement of being traditionally published. Saga Press, shout out to them with the new news. I know you're coming right off of a big deadline. How are you feeling with that behind you?
It's not behind me. So that's I didn't reschedule this interview because I didn't want to because I was like this has been coming. I'm prepared. I can take hour or two and just like get out of the writing phase. But yeah, so my deadline has actually been pushed to the beginning of June.
Okay.
I am writing book 2. I am knee deep in it right now, neck deep. Neck deep. Yeah, it's got a chokehold on me. But so what's happening? The book's too long. It's happening. It's longer than I thought it was going to be. So like I've hit the word count I was expecting to hit, and what I thought that was going to be the size of the book. I'm over 190,000 words now. But the book is currently draft 1 is longer than that. So I need to I need to finish. I'm not finished yet. And then when I finish, I need to go and cut. So how do I feel? I feel manic, and I feel overwhelmed and excited and happy and stressed. And but yeah, I'm here. I'm here.
And as a reader and a fan, I'm excited that there's more. Let's get it chunky. Can we get
We'll
a
see.
brisk?
We'll see. I think it comes down to like when you sign a contract and you sign a contract for multiple books, you kind of give them a projection of what the length of the book. Um, and so I had given them a projection of like 200,000, which is larger than Cello's Gate, but it's right now it's looking like 250. So I need to I need to figure out. They may. I think I'm gonna need help from. I'm gonna want my editor to kind of like weigh in because right now I have no problem killing my darlings. And that. Do you know what that means?
No.
Okay, so I'll explain. Killing your darlings is what you do when you have to cut things that you really like. And it's because it doesn't, it's not right for the story, or it messes with the pacing, or and there are things like, oh, I love this scene so much, but you got to cut it because it doesn't work. And so I'm gonna have to kill a lot of darlings, I think, to get it down. And maybe we'll see. Maybe my editor will be very nice and we'll be like, you know what, let's just do it. Let's just do 250,000 words. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see.
And I love that context too. So thank you for that. Because in my head, I'm like, he's offing my characters. That's what I
Yeah.
in my head. I'm like,
No, no,
oh, he
no. I
just
mean, you
told me
have to
that
do those. You have to do that too. But I'm also not that, I'm not that kind of. There are a lot of ways to build tension without killing everyone's favorite characters. And I think the best series, keep characters alive that you fall in love with, and just put them through hell. And that's the intention. I mean,
Yeah.
deaths happen. This is a violent world, but yeah, I think there are a lot of ways to ramp up that tension, and I think there are writers that forget that because they kill
Yeah.
man. I'm specifically thinking about Pierce Brown, and if he does anything,
He's taking his time with it, and it makes me feel like that's a good thing because I'm positively
yeah.
optimistic at all times. Um,
Are you caught up on the Red Rising series?
no, I am the one everyone yells at because I I need if I'm going to keep going, I'm going to want conclusion because I'm going to devour it. So I'm at
Okay.
I'm at Morningstar. I'm through. I'm that part, but the
So you've
first,
done the first trilogy, you just haven't done the
yeah.
second series. Then I will not say anything because I don't want to ruin anything for you.
The internet is scary. Being in that position, it has honestly felt hard to hold that line that I have told myself for. I mean, gosh, I think I finished Morningstar 2022, like before. before we had Dark Age, and I once we got the Lightbringer, we're not done because I didn't know it was going to be more than an extra trilogy.
Right.
I was like, oh, I'm good. I don't. I need it all or none.
Yeah. Oh my God. Okay, well that's crazy. I don't know how you haven't gotten spoiled. No
I
spoilers.
I'm terrified. I'm not gonna lie to you. And being friends with Alicia specifically is
Yeah.
the riskiest thing I could do. Not because of her, but because of the algorithm knowing that
Well, and
and
seeing the
putting me in those
comments and
spaces.
like people are
Ah,
awful in comments. Yeah, no, I don't.
yeah.
And people think
Um,
people think they're subtle. They think they're, they're smart and they'll say stuff and it's like, "Well, I know what you're saying."
and as readers, like we excel at the context clues. Like you don't have to say it. There's a reason that we're
Yes.
reading such great stories, right? Oh.
Yeah,
Mm.
right, right. We get it. We understand. My dad was the worst. He passed away a couple of years ago, and but before that, he was terrible at like always spoiling things. He like when the new Star Wars came out, and he was like, "Oh my God, it was so good. I loved it." And oh, but yeah, you're never gonna believe this. I was like, "Dad, don't say anything. Don't say what you're saying." He's like, "But no, I'm not gonna spoil it for you." I'm like, "Dad, you're gonna spoil it. I know you're gonna spoil it." He said, "I'm not gonna say anything except my favorite character dies." I'm like, "Dad, I know who your favorite character is.
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing? what what? That is such a spoiler." I've had to be pretty thin-skinned about it, honestly, because like it used to be one of those things that like I will unfriend you for spoiling something
Oh,
for me.
yeah.
I'll block you, you know, but I can't do that anymore. Can't be that
I
petty.
feel that way with spoilers. Like I don't like that trait of you specifically as a human. So therefore I don't want to interact with you.
Right,
I used
right.
to feel that way about books I was very passionate about. I would be like, oh, this person said they didn't finish it or they didn't like it or it was overhyped. And I'd be like, I don't want to see any more of you. I'm so far past that because I
Wow.
can appreciate different reader styles, and it also helps, I think, too, the more you read and the more you're in the online space of finding books that are right for you because they were wrong for somebody else. I think there's a lot of
Yeah,
power in that. And that's, I think, comes with the more time you get in the online book spaces of like, no,
yeah,
please tell me the books you hated. And as long as you can tell me why, so I can decide where I sit
yeah,
on that.
yeah. I think, everybody has different opinions. As long as you're not disrespectful or an asshole, then it's fine.
Yeah.
Like, like we can all like different stuff, but yeah, don't tolerate assholes. Life's too short.
Yeah. I'm too soft is I think the problem. For
You're too
myself.
nice.
Yeah, I think I can with the override. Like if my I will never ask for ketchup, but if my friend wants it, I will ask for it.
Oh
I'll
no.
stop right there. I'm one of those. Um,
No, you gotta ask for ketchup if you want ketchup.
because I could kind of like I don't think I desire ketchup in in all forms of its metaphor in any magical
Like
way.
enough. Like it's
But
like
like
it's I don't need it enough. I'll be fine without it.
yeah. But if
It's
my
like
friend even has the semblance of desire, like, wouldn't it be nice if ketchup was here? Yeah, let me get it right now,
oh
immediately.
my God, that's crazy. I so do you know anything about the Enneagram?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Okay, so I'm a 7. I'm an Enneagram
Yeah.
7. So, yeah, I'm never going to sacrifice. Like if I want something, easy, I'll get it. Like that's no question. I have no problem. That's like, if I'm at a restaurant and like my stuff is overcooked, I'll say, "Hey, this is overcooked." I'm nice about it, but I definitely
Yeah,
will send it back.
yeah. Every time I take that, I'm something different, and that makes me feel very diagnosable in some way. It's
That's
usually
hilarious.
2 or 7 is it are the but those feel far away from each other. So I'm like, do I not? Am I not self aware? Is that or am I too self-aware that I overanalyze the
So
questions?
the way you're supposed to answer the questions in the Enneagram is you're supposed to answer them like you're answering for your entire life. So like you're creating the average of like this is how I have responded in the past. This is how I would respond now, and you kind of like find the answer that feels most real and authentic to you. And then you read the top 3 that you get and you pick which one you feel is more
Oh,
accurate.
I like that. That makes me feel better about my diagnoses at that
Yeah.
point. So
We all got diagnoses, you know. I mean, that is what it is.
life would be boring without said said
Yes.
diagnoses.
Yes. Yes,
So
exactly.
steering us a little bit back on
Yes,
topic.
I'm sorry. This is going to happen a lot. That's
I
my way.
I'm here for it. I just want to be respectful of your time. Um,
100%. I appreciate that.
the and we did it before we hit record. We talked about the chicken and the egg of content creation and a writer. You've lived both lives
Yes.
for a significant amount of time. But do you want to talk a little bit about what what is it, a chicken and the egg situation, or was there one that truly came first and led to the next?
So I've been writing books for since I was in college. So
Yeah.
for 15, 16 years, I've been writing books. Cello's Gate was my 5th book that I wrote. And I was writing Cello's Gate when I got on TikTok, because I started on TikTok. I always had an Instagram, but it was just like a personal Instagram.
Yeah.
But I got on TikTok and I started like really pursuing being a book influencer. And that was because like I just love talking about books. I also knew that like eventually I'm going to publish this book, and it's important for publishers that you have an audience to market to. And so that became like really important to me, was like I want to develop an audience, but I have a marketing background and my wife is a digital marketing expert. She owns a marketing firm and a growth agency. She also owns a community for female entrepreneurs, and but she lives has lived and breathed marketing, and I've worked in the space for 10 years, over a decade. So I didn't want to be just an author online. I wanted to be somebody that you could trust for their book reviews, you could trust for book recommendations. I wanted to be somebody that talked about books, because that's way more interesting to readers. Readers love other readers. Readers do love writers that they already love, but you can't
Yeah.
really capture a reader as a writer. Like that's not how it works. So I it was very important to me to establish my brand as a reader, but never be dishonest about the fact that I'm a writer as well. So like that's always been a part of my brand. I am a writer. I am writing a book. I do love fantasy books. That's a part of it, but I'm here as a reader. And so that's the distinction.
And
But
I
I think
think
that
that, oh,
no, you're good. You're good. I could just ramble.
well, you've done a fantastic job at presenting that first, of being there
Thank you.
for, I want to talk about books and I want to talk about characters and plot lines and genres that I love. Oh, and by the way, I wrote a book based on some of these passions. It
Yeah.
leads the right readers to the right writing,
Thank you.
because you're so authentic, and it's very much not a gimmick. And I don't want to say that I've seen that, but I think in internet, in marketing, you as a consumer, you take pause, right, of being like,
Yeah.
oh, is he saying this because he has to or because he wants to? And it's never been from the other side, that impression, which is unique in someone who has a great following, to be so authentic. So kudos
Thank
to
you.
you.
Thank you. I just
Awesome.
noticed your shirt. That's amazing. Oh my
Yeah.
god. That's a Beer's the Mind Killer. That is a
Here's my
shirt.
killer.
Yes. Oh my god. I love that shirt so much. His designs are absolutely incredible. Shout out Beer's the Mind Killer. That is dope. I love that you have that on. Anyway, yeah, I really appreciate that. I it's always been important to me. A lot of readers have take up issue when they see an influencer who has been in the book space, and they've been there as a book influencer. They've gained an audience, they are trusted, and then they're coming out with a book, and it's like, there's this distaste that people have and I think it's because they feel tricked. They feel like there's not like that level of honesty wasn't there the whole time. They didn't know what they were signing up for, and now they feel tricked, so they have this kind of like negative reaction to that feeling. And I never wanted to create that for people. I never wanted them to be like, "Oh, that's why he built a following." It's like, yes, that is why I'm here. If I didn't have to be on social media, I wouldn't be. Like, if I weren't a writer, I don't know if I would be trying to grow an audience. I would just be talking to people I know about books, and like I would try to find my people, but I wouldn't necessarily want to be like a book influencer, because being on social media isn't super easy. It's a lot of work. It's constant. It's constant work. And I definitely wouldn't. I took a year off social media. All of it. I just went blackout, and it was the best year of my life. My stress was low. I wasn't in tune with like the sky is always on fire. Everything's always going to shit, and like that, it's hard. It fucks with your adrenals, and I didn't want to. I wouldn't choose that for myself unless if I didn't have to. That's what I mean. So like, yeah, I'm here because I am selling a book, and I wrote a book, and I want an audience, but I want to do that in the most organic way possible, if that makes sense. And I want to be honest with people about that, so that when they see me talk about my book, they don't feel like I trick them into
And and that's the
trusting me.
differentiator that you excel at is
Thank you.
no one like you're here because you have to be in, and there's a huge appreciation for that as someone who is online who only wants to be there for the fun of it. Like, I
Yeah.
don't care about the numbers, I don't care about the the poshness, I guess, of it, of like,
Mm.
I'm so protective of my algorithm. But
Oh, it's so
the
smart.
it scares me. The internet actually scares me. But you're here because you have to be, but you still show up as yourself, and you show up authentically, and you show up in your fun and quirky ways that it doesn't feel I keep coming back to gimmicky because that's now I won't get rid of
Yeah.
the word for the whole time, but it just that's the differentiator is you don't want to be here, but by God, if I'm going to be here, I'm going to do it my
I'm a
way. I'm going to show up as myself,
yes.
and I'm going to nail
Like,
it.
I'm here because I have to be, so I show up in the way I want to be. And
Yes.
that's super, like, that's how it has to be. And I think if more people were, I've been given a lot, I've been told by a lot of people that, like, "Hey, you should just be yourself." I've been told that my whole life. And, like, I think if more people were told that, like, just be yourself, be genuine, I think they would do a lot better, because I think it reads and it just, like, it feels good. And yeah, I'm also
And
like a
that's
theater kid, Like, I was a theater major in college, so like doing funny voices and skits, and like, making jokes and talking. I was a speech and debate kid in high school. Like, I also really like talking. So that works.
and that's the beauty of it too. And anytime I ever talk to anyone about being online, being present in any way publicly, right, is you're going to have a great time if you show up as yourself. You're going to have a
Yeah.
terrible time if you try to show up as somebody else or try to be something else or fit into a place that isn't right for you. It's the puzzle piece, right? And
Yeah.
so many people can think that the only place online to have any impact or merit is if you are a quote unquote influencer with so many followers, and it's like I have a few hundred, which is still a big number, but friends, like people I genuinely get excited about to see what they're up to. And that's what it is
Yeah.
like, that's what makes the difference.
It does get strange. So chicken and egg is a very interesting segue into this, but like, I started out as a writer, so I became, an influencer. I have over 20,000 followers on TikTok and 14 on Instagram. And I'm also moving into a space where I'm like, okay, I am still a book influencer. I'm still a reader. I still connect with people, but things are getting a little. I think people are starting to see me more as an author, just just because of, like, I think that naturally just happens. So now I'm trying to like find the blend where I'm talking about my process and what I'm doing and like my worlds that I'm building and like exciting updates and like publishing and stuff like that with the like discussing things as a reader, because when you become like a published author, you can't really, rate in the same way that you could as a
Mhm.
reader.
That's really interesting. I never thought of it in that way. Of you probably have to present maybe just a little bit play nicer with others, maybe a little less brutal, a little more positive,
Yes,
unless that's the brand, right? But I
right,
know
but
that's not.
there are plenty of brands like that. But I yeah, that's not my brand. I'm not like that. And I also, these are my colleagues, and that's like
Yeah.
if you think about it like that, these are my coworkers in a way. Like we work at the same company and it's a book industry. And like so they're my peers. Maybe that's a better word. They're not like my coworkers, but they are my peers. And like that changes things. So for me, I still want to be honest and register as an honest person. So I just don't bring any negativity to my page. I don't talk about things I don't like. So I only talk about things that I do like. And so like there's a way to know how I feel about something. And so I want people, when they see a video where I'm recommending a book, they know that I am genuine about that, because I'm not going to recommend a book if I don't like it.
Yeah. And as not a peer, but as a consumer, I'll say, of you and your peers, you've never had that air of negativity, I would say. So it's not like a brand switch of like, oh, now I have, this deal with Saga Press, therefore I have to present myself differently. I think you're just, what I'm hearing is, again, someone who has seen the things, is you're leaning in more to like, okay, I gotta more conscientiously be put that air of positivity on, but you've always had it. It's just
Yeah,
bubbling
no, it's
maybe a
not an
little bit
air.
more.
It's not an air, and I think that's an important distinction too. It
Mm.
is. I've always had like a when I before, I would always have the idea of like, oh, I should weigh in on this political thing, or I should like talk about that. And my wife Rachel was always like, it's not, you serve a purpose for people, and it is not somebody who it needs to give their opinion. You're a breath of fresh air. Like that's
Yes.
how you need to be, and that's where you need to stay. So like I've started like evaluating content that I create based on like, okay, is this like a breath of fresh air, or is this like a weight? Is this a lodestone? I think it's important as a public figure to for people to know where you stand and know that you stand with them. And so I do enough to let people know who I am and which side of like, political and social issues I'm on. But my brand will never become about that, because that's not why I'm here. And
Yeah.
that's not the best way for me to be present online.
Yeah. Your North Star it is to bring light and freshness and fun. Like you're
Yeah.
fun. Your books are
Thank
fun. Your
you.
content's fun. And like,
Thank you. That
and
means a
there's
lot.
not a lot of that in every day. But we
Yeah.
know that if we see Maurice, we're gonna have fun, even if it's maybe a little tongue in cheek fun, right? But it's fun,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, I'm not like a clean, book influencer.
Yeah.
I One of my best videos that I've ever done is a book about fucking. Like you want some fucking books? Like that's me. I love a good I just want to be playful, and I want it to be fun, and I
Yeah.
want it to be like when you get on my page, you're having a good time. And that's the work, those are the people that I like gravitate to. And I think those are the people that gravitate to the Sky Pirates of Imperia. Those people, they want that same
Yeah.
thing. They want a book that feels fun and exciting and adventurous, and like that's That's what I aim to deliver. There's plenty of sadness out there. There's plenty of heavy.
Yeah.
We need more light.
And most of us are using books as a way to escape some of that. So it is
Yes.
refreshing when it's like, you know, maybe we all make it out of this one alive because
Right.
that's what I need
Right.
today. Not that we have to make any promises, but the overall vibe is positive.
Yeah.
So, with
Yeah.
that being said, I mean, you excel at it, and that's the whole premise of this, of why we're down this rabbit hole, is that we can talk about how you do it so well. Do you have anyone that you look up to that has done that in the past? Because in my eyes, I see you as leading the way in that, in making
Oh, that's
sure
so
you're,
sweet.
yeah.
I think there are a ton of people who I love online. I've been online for a while. Like obviously, like you did say, I've been in this space for a bit. I've been doing this for a bit, and that's true. That's true. I did. I so I've seen a lot of like I wouldn't say so book influencers are one thing. I think I have a lot of book influencers that I love and respect. I don't think they're doing the same thing as me. I don't know if there are a lot of people. I don't know that I can't think of anybody that's doing the same like shtick as me. But I do know that there are people that I really love who create really genuine, great content. People like Evan Lycum was always book reviews kill. I've always loved his content. Um, People like Smitty. Smitty's content is so genuine, so real, and that's why people love. That's why people love him. That's why people listen to him. Like because they know one that he's just they can just tell that he's a good dude, and he means what he says, and he loves what he's doing.
Every
So
time.
I do have content creators that I personally love that aren't in the book space also. And that's so people like Tony Stantucci. I don't know if you know who he is. He does like skits and stuff. Elise Meyer, Rod was like the millennial guy who did all like the
Yeah.
millennial jokes. Like these people are like those. That's the content I gravitate towards. It's like fun, it's funny, it's light, you can Elise Myers, I mean, she became famous because she was talking about telling stories and she just had so much anxiety that it was funny. And that's like I love that. That kind of like, you're talking about real stuff, but you're accidentally hilarious. And that's one of the things about TikTok and Instagram that's changed over the years is like you don't have to be this cookie cutter picture perfect thing to bring light to the world. Hank Green's another one. I love Hank Green. Like
Yeah.
these are creators that I look up to and they have inspired me as a content creator. And so like I'm obviously just talking about really big creators, but like yeah, that's where to answer your question, that's where I get if I get any inspiration for content, it's from those people. And then I get a lot of inspiration from the people I talk to on a daily basis. And that's super important. And I think a lot of people miss that. You don't realize how important building relationships is. Going to stories on Instagram and like responding to people and like commenting on videos and like not just commenting heart or like fire, like commenting like, oh my God, like say something that's going to I don't know, like start a conversation, that can go a lot. One conversation with one person, and this is important for authors to know. You have one meaningful conversation with someone, that can go a long way. That person can become an advocate for you and your brand and your books. And all you did was have a 10-minute conversation with them. And it costs literally that much. It costs time.
And but there has to be
I don't know
it,
how I got there, but
we can go down as many rabbit holes as you want. I'm all for it. As long as you have the map, because I am not trusted with directions. But I'm along for
awesome.
the ride. I'm along for the ride.
Nah, me neither. I threw the map away.
Oh, good. I love it. We're offline. No, no Siri. No maps. Just vibes. Um, and I had talk about we've got rabbit holes, and we've got squirrel moments of that being gone. That thought. Um,
Classic. class. Well, I have ADHD, so
Oh, good.
yeah, but I'm on Adderall. So like I'm like also super focused, you know? So it's like I'm treated. I have diagnoses and they're treated.
At least one of us has the help that they need. Um,
Yeah, I want to say something else about what the question you asked, and it's about
yeah.
whether there are other authors. And I think there are a lot of authors that are worth following, and a lot of authors who set a really great example for what you can and should be doing online. A couple of those, Aaron Hall is an incredible
Oh,
online presence.
yeah.
The
The
caveman
Legend of
cooking
Bob,
video,
right?
yeah,
Legend
Legend
of.
of
Okay.
Caveman cooking videos. I
Okay.
know that's the kind of the bane of his existence is because he like that's become more popular than anything else he's created. But like also he's on this space. He's bringing light. He's being funny. He's like really trying stuff and like he's not just like peddling his books at you and throwing them in your face. He's a
Yes.
great one. Andy Peliquin is another
Yes.
great author to follow. He like always recommends. He's like his recommendations are always great. And those are authors that like I love and respect and looked up to and like learned a lot from and in terms of like what kind of content to create. There are book influencers that are like all over the place. We have so many, that are like really great follows. I don't want to start listing names because I'll inevitably leave people out and I'll feel bad. But there are so many great book influencers. But when it comes to authors, I think it's so interesting because all of my favorite authors, like I'm looking at my Stephen Erickson, Pierce Brown, Nicholas Eames, Joe Abercrombie. We're just now seeing Pierce Brown and Joe Abercrombie and Nicholas Eames. They are online. Nicholas Eames is only on Instagram, and I don't know. He's like a little bit in the space. Pierce Brown is more. He's been more active in the last year, but that's so new. When I started out, those big authors were not online.
Yeah.
They were not doing that stuff. You had, Colleen Hoover. She was online. You had, there were like so few authors really gaining traction. So it was unexplored territory, I think, as an author to come into this space and try to make a name for yourself. And yeah. So I think we're there. You see people now. Evan Lycom came out with a book very
Yeah.
similar around the same time as I did. Angie Kills a King. Noah Brisk, he is coming out with a book this year. So like his book's coming out. There are so many influencers. I think Jonah came out with a book. He published a book last year, and so like he's another one that came out. And I think you're seeing it a lot more now. But when we started, all of us, when we all started this, there was nobody doing it. There was no. We were testing the water. Well, maybe Colleen Hoover was doing it. Maybe she was the only one. I think but she was like the first big success story on TikTok. I think that's where we all learned, oh, holy crap, okay. So we need to get on TikTok. Okay, let's go figure that out. And then, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. That's really interesting to think about. I don't,
If she was the first author that maybe started showing up on on our phones in our free time and not
yeah,
as promotion, like why is this showing up with my cute dog photos and
right. She
book
was making funny
recommendations?
content and like,
Yeah.
yeah,
Like to integrate more into the spaces you wouldn't, or the brain space you wouldn't have reserved for her. Like she would show up on bookshelves, right? Or mark
yeah,
that was right around they were the movie, like they were getting ready, and you're like, oh, this is becoming a big movie. But when you were in spaces you didn't expect to see that news, you would see her, and then it's like that, that thread all the way through.
yeah,
And so we have the inspiration, we've seen what you've done now, but I think
yeah,
what's really beautiful about where you have taken it that is so different, and I think speaks volumes for your character and who you are at your core, is you're also helping anyone else that may have been at any of those points before you understand more and navigate and pulling the curtain back. And it's a true live out of pulling others up as you have successes. And that's, I think, the truest sense of somebody's character is who are they making it easier for, or how are they making it easier for the next person to do that, or taking one barrier away for, even if it's one person.
Yeah.
So kudos to you for that. And it is noticed, and someone who is zero ever, if I wrote a book, I'm dead, and somebody is using that as my, if my name shows up on a book, something really cool happened in my demise and somebody wrote a book about it post-mortem. Like,
That's
but
hilarious.
but I can appreciate, again, so zero, just to emphasize, no desire to ever be
Yeah.
needing that advice, but I consume it because it's, one, it's interesting, and but two, it's like, wow, I love that about you. So did that
Thank
just,
you.
was that just, I want to do this and I want to pull it back? Or I know you've planned it out, you're on like part double digits now. I mean, goodness, it's been going for months at this point.
I have it's 79 parts. I have them all here. So it's a 79 part series, and I did that. Yeah, it was an idea that I had. I was like, I think it's there's so much mystique around publishing. And when I was doing it myself, and like I was doing a lot of research, and there aren't a lot of like there aren't a lot of stories out there. There aren't a lot of people being honest about what the process is like. And I was like, this is a gap. Like this is needed. This is a necessary thing that people like me really want. And it's not like I'm going to give you the keys to the kingdom. I'm giving you the ability to make your own keys. And that's the difference. Is like it still takes a shit ton of work. Like it's so much work. It's not easy to do. But if you want to do it, here's how I did it. Like this is what I did. This is what the process looks like. And I think publishing especially is very much opaque for no reason. Like we can be more transparent about these things. I can talk about like the ownership of rights, and like I could talk about what happens when a book is going through print, and like what happens with deadlines, and what happens with art, and what happens with hardcover, and like all that stuff doesn't need to be a secret. Why is it a secret? And it's a secret because for so long the publishing industry has profited from being either misunderstood or misrepresented, or like wearing this cloak of mystery. But the times have changed, and people no longer value that mystery. People want to know. People want to know what's going on. People want truth. We crave truth more than anything because we're surrounded by lies. And like, yeah, I just want to be, I want to be adding to that like dogma, that zeitgeist of like just adding truth to the world, and like letting people know that if you want to do this, there are ways, and here's the information you need. And like, you may not like all the advice I give, because a big part of my advice is like, you got to work real hard, you got to spend a lot of money, you got to save, and you got to be patient. And that's hard for a lot of people. But if you are serious about it, you can do it.
And I think too, the beauty behind it, again from the outside, is you're proactively putting this out where you give off the assumption that if someone had a burning question, they could go to you and ask and be like, hey, I want to get started. Can you answer this ping? Can you, someone might
Yeah.
slide into your DMs or send you an email. Let's say that would be the correct way to contact Maurice about writing.
Yes.
But you're saying, hey, if you're not at the point where you want to take that leap and reach out to a stranger, I'm just going to put it all out there so that you can take what resonates with you and leave what doesn't. And that's, I think, the piece that is missing, because there might, if you ask another author, you might get the same answers, but you got to start knocking directly on doors, and you've taken that, you've opened that. You said this is an
Yeah.
open door.
I
Here's
want to
a
I want to
79
be
part
an open
playlist.
door, especially right. Here's an open door. I want to give you all the information you can get because here's also something that's happening, and this is more of a recent thing. I for a lot forever I've always answered all my DMs. I have like a weird kind of like well, I have OCD. So like I also do have a weird like OCD thing about like I don't like having that notification there. So and I can't ignore people and I really have a hard time with it. But since I want to say it's May. Jeez, it's May. So for the last like 7 months or so, I have not been able to respond to everybody. I go months without being able to look at DMs. Not months. Like I go weeks without being able to look at DMs. I go weeks without looking at notifications. I don't see comments. Like I've gotten to the point where they're too numerous and I can't respond to them all. It's like it would take me all day. And so I also want to give out information because I cannot be available all the time.
Yeah.
You may get lucky and catch me on a day where I'm like, I am responding to people and I am like going through my inbox and I'm like, I need to go through this. But it's not as often as it used to be. And so, yeah, that's a weird thing that's happening. That, and I don't really know how to contend with that. It's strange. It's strange because I'm used to being an open door and just, I want to be the nicest guy on the internet, and I want to give people advice and help people out. And yeah, it's getting weird because I can't anymore I can't all the time. I'm not readily available all the time anymore.
And that's a growing pain that's expected, right?
Very
And
much
you
a first
have
world
to.
problem. Let's be real. You know, like a
But it also, I think, you have to set up good boundaries for yourself. So
yeah,
I think it's very reasonable that you can't get there, because what would you do? Not spend any time with Rachel, your friends and family, because you're
right.
answering every DM.
Yeah,
But you're doing
yeah,
you're doing the best part of, like, hey, you can't it's here. It exists. You don't need to be in
yeah.
my DMs. I am an open book at my availability so that you can find me when you need me.
Yeah,
And
and
that
I'm not the, I'm
is,
I'm not the first person to do this either. Like Travis Baldree has a really amazing article on Medium. Is it Medium?
I
I
don't
don't
know.
know, but he has a great article that kind of outlines his whole. He's very transparent about the money he put in, the money he got back, like how many sales he made, and it's like that was like the only one of the only examples I saw of somebody being transparent and like really telling like okay, this is how I did it. And it's a really great read and any author who's out there should read it. But yeah, that's why I endeavored to create like a companion piece to that.
um, if I can take us on a small story time, as I know you'll indulge, the you talk about invisible string, or the world is small. Travis Baldree was one of the first people when I first started on the internet. I was doing this as something, I was about to go through surgery. I was having a lot of self-conscious, and I was like, I'm just going to do this. I've got at the time 100 of these mini books. That's probably cool, right? And I posted about Legends and Lattes and how much I loved the book and how excited I was for Brigans and Bread Knives. And this was in March, and Brigans and Bread Knives came out in November, if I remember the timing. He responded and he DM'd me a link to Brigans and Bread Knives, and he's like, "I love that you're excited about this. Those mini books are so cool. This is," and he followed, like, open this level of dialogue. And at the time, I don't even think I had like 250 followers.
That's
And
incredible.
that was for me the moment where I was, one, this is why, right? This is why you be a nerd on the internet. This is why
Yeah.
you come as
Put
yourself and
yourself out
go.
there. Yeah.
And two, I'll never care about the numbers at this point, because that was so impactful to me that I knew at that point a number would not matter anymore.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think that also allowed me to continue to always be myself, my brand, my weird. But I had it
Yeah.
so early, and I'm so thankful for that. And even if I get caught up in like a stagnant growth time, or I don't know, the internet is weird. The internet is weird and does weird things to your brain, even if you are confident and even if you don't care or you end up
Right.
caring. Um, I I fall back on that a lot of like, I'm good. Like that's good. This
Yeah.
experience is good. The experience with Fonda, I'm like, I'm good. I'm
That's
actually fine.
wild. That's wild. Like
Uh,
I was like because you asked me to do an interview and I was like, yeah, of course. Like, but you were like, we're friends. You've talked. We talked. Like we really comment. You're in my Discord. You've read my book. You sent me mini books. I was like, hell yeah. But then I saw Fonda Lee. I was like, whoa, okay, that's crazy. That's so
I
cool. So cool.
I'm sorry, this is turning to be a dialogue on me very quickly.
No, that's fine. That's better.
This how we got here. Why are we here today? How did this happen?
How did it
Um,
happen?
I was having a moment, both online and at work, where I was like, I burnt out from. I felt I was spending too much. I was not doing enough. I was not getting the right things. Um, and
Yeah.
I turned to some of my friends online. Shout out Sam and Kate. And I shared, as like, well, there's some really cool things that I'm being told no about that is discouraging. And they said, well, those people don't have the right to tell you no. You should just ask and find these things. Like, who would you want to talk to? Who would you enjoy having a conversation with? And I took the effort and I wrote out questions, yourself included, of books that I've loved recently. And like, if I got to sit down with these people, here's what I would ask. And then I slid into all of those DMs. I'm like, if I did this, I'm going to do it, right? Like that
Yeah.
creative exercise. How would I
Yeah.
fill 60 minutes if I had Maurice, if I had Fonda, if I had Sarah Swift is on the docket for later? In in conversation, what would I say? And it all worked. And I was like, oh, okay.
It's
This
crazy how often it works that way. It's like, oh, I tried the thing I really wanted to do and it worked out. And it's like that's it's sometimes that's all it takes. I'm honored to have been a part of
oh,
the your experiment. That's really awesome.
and it was a confidence booster, really. And again, you said earlier, it matters who you spend time with and who you have in your circle.
Yeah.
If your friends aren't telling you that you can do the thing, or they aren't encouraging you or pouring into your strengths,
Yes.
you're not in the right rooms.
Exactly.
Um,
You don't need people rooting against you, like actively rooting against you. That's not
yeah,
friendship. Those are
yeah.
enemies.
So, Invisible String Theory through Travis Baldree, Sam and Kate, and now we're here.
That's amazing. Yeah. When it comes to like follower counts too, it's all vanity. Like you can buy
Yeah.
those. It's all
Oh,
about, are you online? Are you getting interactions, and are the interactions you're getting positive or meaningful or like worth it? And if they are, then you're doing it right. If they're
yeah.
not, then maybe you should reevaluate what you're doing.
Yeah. Yeah. So I do want to pivot us a little bit because this is a good segue to Discord, right? You
Yes.
have built this amazing online community of like
Thank you.
sky pirates. Talk about, are we all authentic and ourselves on the internet? Yeah. Check out the Discord. Like it
Yeah.
is so, and I will say, not only have I made friends via um, TikTok and Instagram and the connection through Cello's Gate and Sky Pirates, but the Discord. I mean, I can think like shout out to Becky. I truly have connected with her
I
as
love that.
as a person, as a human. I adore her
Yeah.
endlessly. But I don't think I would have met her if we weren't battling each other out in the Discord, or her telling me the silly things I do. I should not be. Whatever powers you've given me, take them away. I, that is a corner of the internet I do not excel at, but I love being there, and I have
I love
the
having you
most
there.
fun.
It's
The
it's
most
such a
fun.
sometimes I'm like I think I created a really fun place that
Oh,
uh where we just go to and we decide what's the best. It's just the tournament of blades, and that's all it is, and that's all that matters. But like right now, we're voting on what's the coolest dinosaur, and that is so fun and ridiculous, and like that's what I want my whole vibe to be on the internet, and like there is no negativity like
yeah,
on
none.
on our on the feeds, like, and it's not like we're allergic to it. We talk about serious shit. People go through stuff every day. People in
Mhm.
that Discord are going through stuff every day, and they're opening up and they're finding other like-minded people who are like offering encouragement. Like one of the biggest things that I wanted to do when I created the Discord was create a space where people felt like if they participated, they would get a response. And like that is super important to me. Like I didn't want to create a dead space that where questions are left unanswered, and where when people post something nobody sees it and nobody responds to it and you feel like you're ignored, and it's like why the hell would I even be here? I wanted to create a space that like you feel good about reacting, you feel good about posting, and you feel good about being there because you like all the people who are there want you there. And that's a really difficult thing to do, but a community is so important. It's everything. And like right now, we need it. We need it more than ever.
Yeah. And it's a good way to, granted, some of us are coming through this the opposite, upstream, downstream, wherever you want to look at it, Instagram, TikTok to Discord. But those
Mm.
are, I'll say that founding core, at least in my level of visibility, was from us being together on a more facing platform. Oh, we're going to go be
Yeah.
ourselves over here. But it's another avenue for maybe those that don't want to post or don't want to have that direct face, right? That direct line, which I get it. Like, that's not for everybody. It's a scary thing to go through. There's still a place for you in the book world, just with
Yes.
a few minutes of your
And
day
that's
and a keyboard.
Yes, exactly. That's like that was super important to me. You'll see if you join the community, if you're in the community already, then you know there are so many people who are in there who are not influencers. We have a lot of non-book influencers. And so it was also super important for me that I wanted to invite book influencers, I wanted to invite writers, but that's not why we're here. We're not here to talk about those things. We have a channel for that. Like there's a channel for bookish news. There's a channel for, we have a whole group called the Trench Community Circle Jerk. And we all share and we all jerk each other off metaphorically by liking each other's stuff. And that's awesome. We're giving each other boosts. We're supporting each other. That's sick. But that's not what the community's for. The community isn't a place to just come and advertise yourself. Like,
Yeah.
if you want to talk about writing, go to the writing channel. We can talk about writing. But like if you're in the other places, you're just you. You're just
Yeah.
who you are. And that includes me. I have channels where I talk about specific things for like what's going on, and obviously it's the Trench community, so I do post updates about like what's going on with the publishing journey and stuff like
Yeah.
that, but I don't post those in the comms. I don't post those in the Tournament of Blades. Those go in the appropriate channels that you can check when you want to. There's no pressure and there's no stress, and if you want a Crest Knight name, you gotta earn it, and that's it. That's the only stipulation.
And it's not just, to your point, it's not just for I only want to talk about Sky Pirates.
Right.
There's lit fic, there's romance, there's spicy.
Yeah.
Those are three of the same things. There's
Well, they're not
nonfiction,
the same. They're a little
poetry.
different. Yeah.
So
Whatever you
it's
like, there is a place. We have a sports channel. We have a
yeah,
music channel that is popping every day. Gray's Tape Deck is like, we have guys in there that are sharing new music every day, new music they're listening to. Puck is like really on top of it. Nate's really on top of it. James is really on top of it. And they're like, they're sharing music every day that they're discovering and talking about. And like, we have a parents channel, like where if you have kids, you can go into the Little Friends channel. We have a pet pic channel. You can post pictures. I'm just advertising the Discord now, but if you
As
want
you
to
sure.
come in, we have people that haven't even read Cello's Gate. And we have a buddy read channel where you can come in and look at all the people who have read it. It's all tagged, spoiler tagged with chapters and stuff. So if you want companions or you have questions, that's going to be the easiest way to find me is in the Discord. 100%.
And even I recently did a reread. I got a e-arc from Saga, so that was fantastic. And I was like, I
What? That's
wonder.
crazy.
I felt
Wow.
elite.
Wow. I didn't know that. You didn't say that. That's so fun.
Yeah, so I did a reread, and then the timing worked out well. But even just checking the, oh, I thought this in chapter 4, right? Did anyone else have that same reaction, even if we weren't reading it at the same time, right? But
Yeah.
what oh my God moment happened that I want to make sure other people are having the right reaction to this, even if it's not in real time, right?
Like, hey,
Like,
hey.
validate it.
Right, right. That's so fun. That's so
Yeah,
cool. I didn't know you. Yeah, that's really cool. I hope you liked it the
yeah.
second time. I've
I
read it
loved it just as
a
much.
thousand. Oh, good.
The So my toxic trait was, since I have the original
Mm-hmm.
publication, um, both my husband and my dad wanted to read it, and I told them they have to wait because I don't want them to have this version of it. But
Oh my
now
goodness.
it's on my Kindle, and I can say, okay, if you would enjoy this, Christopher, you can now enjoy it from the safety of the Kindle. Um,
You
and
don't
my
want to
dad
mess
is
with your
actually
book.
so hype about the audio because he's more of an audiobook. He
Oh,
has
it's
long
gonna be
drive.
so good. Oh, it's
Yeah.
gonna be so good.
I'm
Jeff
so,
Hayes, Jeff Hayes, we're coming for you, dude. We're coming.
mm,
Come on, Matt Denneman. We're coming. I don't care. I don't care.
we're
That's
manifesting it. I'm
yeah.
ready. I'm
Manifesting.
so ready.
Me and my audiobook narrator, who has not been announced yet, so I'm not going to say his name yet, but
Okay.
he's incredible. He's incredible. I'm
I have
so
full
excited.
faith in all of your decision, your directorial decision making
We got
that
a
you
lot
have
of big
there.
news coming. I can't share any of it yet, but we do have a lot of big news. I wish I could share something, like give you an exclusive, but I can't yet because nothing's approved yet. It's like nothing. I've had a couple of meetings with marketing, and this is what's so crazy is like I've been doing this by myself for so long that now having a team, one, I can do so much more, but also I can't just I can't be impulsive about anything. I have to be like everything's so meticulously thought out. So yeah, I can't just like impulsively decide to reveal something that I'm not allowed
we are all
to.
we are all patient people. We'll be
Yeah,
excited whenever it comes. I
good.
hope it's in the Discord first.
It
That's
will be
fine.
always.
This is
Y'all
this is the
always.
promo for the Discord. Is a great place to be, even if you're bad.
Yes, this is like that's what this is.
I am so bad at Discord. I'm in yours and Evan's, um, and that's about it. And I'm so bad. It
It's
doesn't
so
trans.
hard to be in them. It's like it really is. I mean, I'm in a few. I'm in quite a few, and I have my own personal ones for D&D and stuff like that because I
Yeah,
do a lot of D&D. But like they take up a lot of time, and if you're not driven to be there, you just fall out, and that's it. It's like you have to, if you're a community holder, if you are running a community, you've got to give people a reason to come back, and
yeah,
that's what the Tournament of Blades is. That's you got to come back and vote. Otherwise, your favorite dinosaur might get eliminated, and that's it's important. It's important
yeah.
stuff. That's what. But I don't know. I think Discord is really cool because it's like we all grew up. Well, I don't know. I can't ask your age. Are you a millennial?
Yeah.
33.
I'm in my
Perfect.
30s,
Okay.
young 30.
Perfect. Okay, so yeah, we grew up in the time of like Yahoo Messenger and AIM and forums and MySpace and really the early days of Facebook. And so this is like Discord fits right into that. It's like
Yeah.
it's super easy. Don't overthink it. Don't overthink it.
My toxic millennial trait is that I want to rank, um, like we did in old MySpace. I want a top 8 specifically in teams. Like I
Oh
want
my
to take
god.
that into millennial workforce. Like give me a top 8
Oh
on
my
my
god, the
teams.
drama. The drama of the top 8. My goodness. They'll never get
That's
it. Like these
that's
younger
how I'm.
generations will never understand.
That's the only way I want to be messy because I think it'd be
Although,
just subtle enough
god,
in the workplace.
I could not imagine growing up, going to high school, and everybody has cell phones, and like you're sharing pictures with each other, and like everybody has Snapchat, and everybody has Instagram, and everybody's looking at your TikToks, and everybody's looking at your mom's TikToks. Can you imagine? Because that's reality right now. That's what kids these days are going through.
The
Fuck that.
the asinine things that I did, I don't think I got a phone until the 8th grade. And it wasn't a smartphone. It was like just a texting phone.
Yeah. I got
Nobody
my first
needs.
phone when I was 18.
Oh, I'm scared. The world is scary.
Yes.
So, I just want to end on one fun question
Okay.
because we haven't actually talked much about Cello's Gate and Sky Pirates, but that is totally fine.
That's fine.
We're having a great time, and that's what matters. Read the book if you want to talk about it, and meet us in the
Yes.
Discord, and we'll talk all about it. Um, do you have a fan cast for our manifestation of the film or screen adaptation? You've had to have thought about it,
I
just a little.
guess. Of course. Of course. Okay, let me hold on. I need to open the thing because I have a whole file on this. I do have a
Oh,
fan
he's
cast,
got a
and
Google Doc, guys.
I've got pictures. I posted a post like this on Instagram, and so I have done this. I've done a lot of thinking on this, and I'm not the greatest at like picking out like actors and stuff like that. That's not my shtick really. But sorry, I totally got distracted. Where is it? Where is my social media stuff? There. Here we go. Found it. Okay. I think I called it Casting the Crew. Yep. Here we go. Okay. So, easy peasy. Okay. This is who I have. I'll give you one option for all
Okay.
of them. So, Manny Jacinto is who I see as Gray. That is my. So, Manny Jacinto, do you know who that is?
I can see an
I'm
outline.
gonna. Can I share my screen?
You can try. I don't know the answer.
Let me see. Let me see. We're gonna try to do this. Be careful. I
Can
don't want to show anything sensitive, like my book
the
window. This one. There we go. Share.
Oh yeah.
So this
Okay,
is
yep.
Manny Jacinto. This is another actor. He looks like he played great gay gray, straight gray. It would be Manny Jacinto. So he's from The Good Place and
Yes.
Acolyte.
Okay.
Incredible,
Is it terrible
incredible.
that when I told you the vague outline, it was the hair? But that's fine.
The hair?
Yeah, from
What do you mean?
like he's got that the flow. Like when I said like I can kind of see where he's at, I was imagining a faceless
Oh my
hairline.
God. Okay, that's what you were saying. I was like, what? Oh yes,
Yeah, I
that's no,
couldn't
that's
picture his
great. That's
features, but just the
man, he's got that
locks.
face, that jaw.
Oh,
Like
I
that's
mean,
what.
I see it now.
Yeah. Right. So that's my gray for sure. My Mars is probably Christoph Hivju if he were this big as Brian
Okay.
Shaw. And he's from Game of Thrones. So he played Troll's Bane. What's his name? What's his name? I can't remember. But that's the actor I see. It's just that red beard that like. But I want him to be this big. You know, he's Kavix from Red Rising, like that kind of big. Like he's huge. Uh,
Yeah.
this my Min Nia DaCosta is like that's kind of like that's who I picture in
She's
my head.
stunning. Min is my
And
girl. Mm.
thank you, thank you. I love Min so much, and like the Oracle, she's like the primary user of magic user on the crew, aside from Dot, but yeah. So like, oh, I love yeah. We get a lot more. We get a lot more of everybody in book two, so I'm very excited about that. Willow
Oh, that's, yeah.
is 100%. She's Natasha Lyonne. Like that's Willow. 1000%. Like a young Natasha Lyonne would be like perfect.
Yeah.
But like that's the vibes for sure. That's Willow. Am I? Where's my? Oh, where'd the arrow go? Oh wait, where's everybody at? Oh, Farlow. So I really like R.J. Seiler if he could pull it off. I don't know him as an actor. He just has the right look for me. And this guy, Kylan Rambo, he played a similar character to what I kind of imagined. He was in Teen Wolf, which I loved Teen Wolf. So that's me. That's Farlow.
That's a
Dot.
lore drop.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a Lord. I did love Teen Wolf. 100%. I have a huge man crush on Dylan O'Brien. Yes, I fucking yeah. That's me. That's Maurice. I imagine Julian Baker as, but
Okay.
she's not a she's a singer. She's not even an actress. So this is kind of how this very slight, like petite, small, but fierce, kind of like a little more mask, but not manly. Still like a very much like a pretty cute woman. Like that's kind of like, but a little more mask. So like, I also love Emma D'Arcy, who played in Game of Thrones as Dot, but she's a little too tall. I think
Mm.
she might be a little too tall. But yeah, that's who I have cast as Dot. And then Bones,
I was gonna
I
say
really
bones.
love Steve Howie as Bones. That's who that's who I see. But Bones I could also see played by like a Tom Hardy, or even this is Lip from Shameless. I don't know if you've ever seen Shameless. Shameless is incredible. And then Jane from Firefly, obviously. But Jeremy
Yeah.
Jeremy Allen White is he'd play an incredible Bones. Bones has a Cajun
That's
accent, so like that was a huge part of the audition process for the audiobook was like you got to be able to do a Cajun accent. Like that's yeah.
hmm. And another thing that speaks just to your style of writing and seeing these visuals of the manifestation of them in
Yeah.
the potential flesh, right? Is that
Yeah, yeah,
you've
yeah.
portrayed that really, like none of those were like, oh no, that's incorrect.
Oh, good. That's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, here's the thing. And so as a writer, I never want to I hesitate to like do this kind of stuff, like casting or doing art. I do a little bit, but I like to keep it vague enough. When I write, I do not get hyper specific because I know and I understand how the brain works as a reader. Like you have to fill in some of those gaps. So I give you enough details to give you the character, and then you fill in the gaps yourself. So a lot of people see these characters very differently. So hopefully you know that Gray is would be Asian, and you know that Min and Farlow are black, and like. But other than that, like I give you kind of their energy and their some basic features to go off of, and then I really spend a lot of time on who they are, so
Yeah.
that when you're seeing them the way you do. But I also think that has to do with how I imagine things. My brain doesn't work. I don't see full. There's like you exist on a spectrum between people who don't see anything visually and then people who see like full movies. I don't see movies. I see flashing, almost like a stop motion. That's kind of how my brain visualizes books. So I think that might be how I write too. Is I write things, I capture moments, and that's really important to me as a writer. And so like my whole goal with writing characters is giving you just enough so you can see them in your head, and then giving you who they are.
Yeah. And you do a fantastic job.
Thank you.
Fantastic. Yeah. So we're right at time. Is there
Okay.
anything that you want to leave with? Is there anything that you want to make sure is driven home from these last 70 minutes?
Join the Discord.
I agree.